Okay, welcome back, students. So, myself, Dr. APGC. Okay, in this video, I'm going to discuss the topic called wave optics. The chapter wave optics. So, first, let me discuss the synopsis first, then I will go for the questions. So, synopsis. Okay, first one. So, we know that wave optics discuss the wave optics is a branch of optics which deals with the nature of light, and in this nature we have to discuss some of the theories, that is corpuscular theory, wave theory, and electromagnetic theory. What corpuscular theory tells? Corpuscular theory tells it is proposed by Descartes, 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 but corpuscular theory discusses about the particle nature of light. Means corpuscle means particles. Wave theory, it is proposed by Huygens. It explains the wave nature of light. Means light is of wave. Corpuscular theory tells the light is of particle nature. Wave theory proposed by Huygens, it gives the wave nature. Wave nature, the light travels in hypothetical medium called ether. Then electromagnetic theory proposed by Maxwell, it explains again the wave nature of light. Here wave theory proposed by Huygens gives longitudinal nature. Electromagnetic wave theory proposed by Maxwell gives transverse nature of light. Then after this, even Planck also proposed the nature of light. Planck's quantum theory. Planck's quantum theory says that the light is in terms of photons called quanta. Photons or quanta, both are same. Photon or quanta is called a packet of energy. So light is emitted in the form of a packet of energy that is proposed by whom? Planck's. Okay, sorry. That is proposed by Max Planck. That is Planck's theory. Planck's theory. Okay. Next one, wavefront. What is a wavefront? Wavefront is a locus of points in which all the particles are in same phase. The locus of points on the surface at which all the particles are in same phase. Suppose if you take any surface, on this surface if you take any particle, all particles vibrate in the same phase, then this surface acts as what? Wavefront. So wavefront is a surface on which the locus of all particles exhibit same state of vibration. All are in constant phase or same phase. So there are three types of wavefronts, that is spherical wavefront, cylindrical wavefront, and plane wavefront. The point source emits spherical wavefronts. The linear source emits cylindrical wavefronts. And if you take any wavefront which is at infinite distance, it becomes what? Plane wavefront. Spherical, cylindrical wavefront and plane wavefront. Spherical wavefront given by point source, cylindrical wavefront, linear source, plane wavefront at infinite distance. Okay. After this, features of Huygens principle. Huygens proposed two key points regarding wavefronts. The two key points are each point on wavefront is a secondary source of light. Means if you take any wavefront, it emits new waves. It is called secondary waves. For any wavefront, it emits new waves or new wavefronts or wavelets. They are called secondary wavelets. That's why each point on the wavefront is a source of secondary source of light. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ರಿ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಮತ್ತೆ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ರಿ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ದೀಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ರಿ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಎನ್ವಲಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ರಿ ವೇವ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್. ಅದೇನು if you take any wavefront, from that wavefront you have to create one more wavefront. That secondary wavelets represents position of new wavefront. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ವೇವ್ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ನಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ವೇವ್ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, that is a new position, that is a position of the new wavefront. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ every wavefront gives new wavefront. They are called secondary wavelets and these secondary travels with the speed of light. So this is a proposition features given by Huygens theory. Okay, so next one, diagram of spherical wavefront and wavefront already I have shown. This is spherical wavefronts, this is plane wavefront, and this is initial wavefront, and this is a new wavefront. This new wavefront called secondary wavelets. This secondary wavelets travels with the speed of light. Okay, any wavefront gives secondary wavelets. Again, see how to get the secondary wavelets. If you take a point source and draw a circle, the tangent drawn to the circle gives the position of new wavefront. Next one, refraction of plane wave through a thin prism using Huygens principle. Any incident wavefront, when it incident on the prism, what happens to the upcoming wavefront from the prism? ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟು ಪ್ರಿಸಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆದರೆ ದ ನ್ಯೂ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟಿಲ್ಟೆಡ್. ದ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ರಿಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟಿಲ್ಟೆಡ್. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಎನಿ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಪ್ರಿಸಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟಿಲ್ಟೆಡ್. ಎನಿ ವೇವ್ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಪ್ರಿಸಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್, tilted. So this is happening in prism. Next, any wavefront incident on a convex lens. Here, a plane wavefront passing through the convex lens. Any incident plane wavefront passing through the convex lens, it gets spherical wavefront. Means a plane wavefront converted into a spherical wavefront when it passes through the convex lens. Then laws of reflection and laws of refraction are proved using Huygens wave theory. We can prove these law of reflection and law of refraction. Law of refraction says I equal to R. I equal to R. What is I? Angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. Both are equal. Using Huygens principle we can prove this. Second, here Snell's law means the law of refraction. Law of refraction says that what? N1, here secant N1 sin I equal to N2 sin R. This law or Snell's law or law of refraction can be proved using Huygens theory. Okay. Now next case, a plane wavefront when it is incident in a concave mirror. This is a concave mirror. When a plane wavefront is incident on the concave mirror, it is converted into, see here, it is converted into a spherical wavefront. Means a plane wavefront after incident on the concave mirror, it gets converted into spherical wavefront. Okay. So next topic is interference. So what is interference? Interference and the enu. See here, interference is a common word. If two or more waves meet, they should interfere, they should superpose. When they superpose on each other, there is a modification in the distribution of light energy. Means light energy distribution gets changed or modified. This modification in the distribution of light energy due to superposition of two or more light waves is called interference. Okay. So two sources having nearly equal amplitude, constant or zero phase difference are called coherent sources. See here, what are coherent sources? Coherent source means they are having same amplitude and constant phase difference or almost zero phase difference. They are called coherent sources. So for interference we need coherent sources. Again, there are two types of interferences: constructive interference and destructive interference. What is constructive interference? If a crest of one wave falls on the crest of other wave, or trough of one wave falls on the trough of other, then this is called constructive interference. Then destructive interference means what? If a crest of one wave falls on trough, or trough of one wave falls on crest. You can see upward is crest, downward is trough. Crest falls on trough, crest falls on trough, or trough falls on crest. Then it is called destructive interference. They destroy. The waves here construct, the waves here destroy each other. Means in constructive interference, we need the path difference is n lambda, where n is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. For constructive interference, the path difference between the two light waves must be n lambda. It is in terms of lambda, or we can say path difference for constructive interference. Path difference, not path, phase difference. We can already having path difference. Now what is phase difference? Phase difference for constructive interference is 2n pi, 2n pi. And similarly for destructive interference, phase difference phi is equal to, now I am going to write the phase difference for destructive interference. It is 2n plus 1 into pi. Say 2n pi is for constructive interference, 2n plus 1 pi is for destructive interference. This is for phase difference. And for path difference, n lambda is for constructive interference, n plus 1 by 2 into lambda is for destructive interference, or you can say 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. You can write like this also, 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. So these are the conditions for constructive and destructive interference. So constructive interference gives maxima, destructive interference gives minima. It is giving bright band, constructive interference gives bright band, destructive interference gives dark band in interference pattern. Okay, after this, Young's double slit experiment. We know that Young's double slit pattern here, see, look at the pattern of the Young's double slit experiment. There is a source of light which is a monochromatic source of light. This monochromatic light is made to fall on two slits. The two slits gives what? Coherent sources. And the light coming of the two coherent sources, they interfere in this region. After interference, we get what? Interference pattern on the screen place here. What the interference pattern contains? It contains alternative bright and dark fringes. Bright is due to constructive interference, dark is due to destructive interference. So we are getting alternative bright and dark bands on the screen. The width of the bright fringes is equal to width of dark fringes. Means all bright fringes and all dark fringes are of equal width or width. So you can see width of any band, or either bright or dark, the width of any band, either bright or dark, it is called fringe width. The width of any bright fringe or dark fringe is called fringe width. The intensity of all bright fringes is same. If you take any bright fringe, the width is same. The intensity of dark fringes is 0, because there is a destructive interference, no intensity. So here, these are bright bands. The peaks are called bright bands. The lower points are called dark bands. So here, alternative bright and dark bands. So central spot is always, this is central spot. The central spot is always bright, because the light coming with two sources, they interfere with zero path difference. When the path difference is 0, there is a constructive interference. Okay, that's why the central spot is always having central bright fringe, constructive interference. Why the central spot is bright fringe? Because the light coming from the two coherent sources meet with zero path difference. ಎರಡು ಲೈಟ್ ಸೋರ್ಸು ಜೀರೋ ಪಾತ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ನ ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೆಂಟರ್ನಾಗ ಬ್ರೈಟ್ ಫ್ರಿಂಜ್ ಮೂಡುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಪಾತ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ 0 ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಓಕೆ, the fringe width of interference bands using double slit experiment. So this all derivation part derivation part is not necessary. So here I will write the expression. See, here you can see the expression for fringe width. The expression for fringe width is beta equal to lambda capital D by small d. We know that beta, what is beta? Fringe width, the distance between two either bright fringes or two dark fringes, or width of any fringe, either bright fringe or dark fringe. The width of either any bright fringe or dark fringe is what? The width of any either bright fringe or dark fringe is what? Fringe width. So beta equal to lambda d by d. What is lambda? Wavelength of the coherent sources. Capital D, distance between the slit and screen. Slits and screen. What is small d? The distance between the two slits. That is small d, the distance between the two slits. So this is expression for beta. Okay, next thing, diffraction. Next topic, diffraction. What is diffraction? Okay, it's here, my dear students. There are few more formulas in interference, and that formulas I am going to discuss along with the questions. So there are few more formulas in interference, so that I am going to discuss along with the questions. Okay, next one, diffraction. What is a diffraction phenomena? It is a bending of light around the obstacles and encroaching it into give the geometrical shadow is called diffraction. So we know that every object gives its own geometrical shadow. That geometrical shadows are formed because of the bending of light rays, means diffraction. So phenomena of diffraction is what? It is a bending of light rays and producing a geometrical shadow is called diffraction. So we can see in diffraction pattern, and here you can differentiate the interference and diffraction. Let me just in brief I am going to differentiate what is interference. It is a phenomenon of redistribution of light energy due to superposition of two or more light waves. So from two or more light waves, the light waves interfere, gives interference. In diffraction pattern, there is a bending of light rays around the edges of the corner. So the light rays bends around the edges of the corners. Here the light rays incident, they bend around the edges of the corner. So due to this bending and the light waves superpose on each other, giving diffraction pattern. Next, the intensity of all bright fringes is same. The intensity of bright fringes is not same. In interference, all the bright fringes are of same intensity, but in diffraction, all the bright fringes are not same intensity because they go on decreasing. The intensity goes on decreasing. Width of all fringes is same. Here width of all fringes is not same. So this is some difference between interference and diffraction. Next slide. Okay, next slide. In this one, you can see the intensity distribution curve of single slit diffraction. See, you can see this is the central spot. This central spot is what? It is called central maxima. It is called central maxima. The central spot is called central maxima. It is a bright fringe, and you can see this is a minima. It is called first secondary minima. It is what? First secondary minima or first minima. First minima or first secondary minima. You can say both. And this one is again a maxima, but it is a first secondary maxima. It is a first secondary maxima. It is central. This is first minima. This is first secondary maxima. You can continue saying like this. Next one it will be second minima. Next, this is second minima. This will be second secondary minima. This is first, second, third minima. This is first, second, third secondary minima. So you go on, it goes like this, and just to go on saying about the, I'm going to write now about the conditions of minima and maxima. The conditions of minima and maxima. The angular position of maxima is, the angular position of maxima is, the angular position of maxima, angular position of maxima is written as theta equal to 2n plus 1 2n plus 1 lambda divided by 2d. This is expression for secondary minima condition. And what about secondary maxima condition? What about the secondary minima condition? Minima condition is written as theta equal to n lambda by small d, where lambda is wavelength and small d is slit width. So diffraction pattern is obtained. How it is obtained? See here, this is a slit. This is a slit of width d. This is the screen, and the secondary wavelets coming and interfere. These secondary wavelets interfere to produce in diffraction pattern, and here lambda is wavelength of light and small d is what? Slit width. So these are the two conditions for maxima and minima. Okay, now next I will go for limit of resolution and resolving power of telescope. So this is a formula for limit of resolution of telescope. Delta theta equal to 0.61 lambda by a. You must remember these formulas. Resolving power is reciprocal of limit of resolution. Resolving power is reciprocal of limit of resolution. That will be a divided by 0.61 into lambda, where a is the radius of the objective of telescope. You can see objective of the telescope. A is what? The radius of the objective of telescope. Lambda is the wavelength of the light emitted by the objects. So you can see four objects as separated using the telescope. See here, the light entering the objective of telescopes. So here, where the telescopes are used? Telescopes are used to resolve two distant objects. And the ದೂರ ಇರುವಂತ objects ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು? Telescope use ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. Okay. So this is a formula for limit of resolution and resolving power of telescope. Okay. Next one, limit of resolution and resolving power of microscope. Microscope ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? To see the near objects. Limit of resolution of microscope is formula 1.22 lambda by 2n sin beta, or you can say theta also. Lambda is wavelength of the light, n is refractive index of the surrounding medium between the object and the objective of the microscope. Beta is called the semi-vertical angle subtended. See here, beta is semi-vertical angle subtended. N is refractive index of medium between object and objective. Beta is semi-vertical angle formed by the cone of the rays entering the object. From the object, the rays will emit enter like a cone. See here, from the object, the rays enter like a cone. That's why this beta is not full angle. It is semi-vertical angle. Okay. The product n into sin beta is called numerical aperture also. The product n sin beta is also called numerical aperture. See here. Now resolving power of microscope can be increased. How to increase resolving power of microscope? Rp is direct proportional to n. So choosing a medium of high refractive index. So Rp is directly proportional to n, and we can Rp is inversely proportional to lambda. Means you have to use a lower wavelength light, then you can increase resolving power of microscope. Okay, after this we go for polarization. What is a polarization? Polarization means what? So polarization means if you take any light wave, in that the light is transverse nature. We all know the vibrations are in perpendicular to the propagation. There are so many vibrations which are always in perpendicular positions to the propagation. You can see dots. Dot means perpendicular to plane of paper. Arrow mark means double arrow mark means vibration in the plane. Dot means perpendicular to plane of paper, but all are in perpendicular to the propagation. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡಬಲ್ ಏರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕು ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಡಾಟು ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಡಬಲ್ ಏರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೇಪರ್, ಡಾಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೇಪರ್. ಬಟ್ ಎರಡು ಏನಿರ್ತಾವೆ, ಪ್ರೊಪಗೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಇದು ಅನ್ಪೋಲರೈಸ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಇಂಥ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು? polarization. If you remove all the vibrations and keep only one vibration, if you remove all the vibrations and keep only one vibration which is perpendicular to propagation, that is called polarization. So phenomena in which vibrations of the wave are confined to one plane, particular plane, and ಎಲ್ಲ plane of vibration ಹೋಗಿ ಒಂದು plane of vibration ಆಗು phenomena ಏನಂತಾರೆ polarization. So polarites can do the polarization. Special metal like polarites can do the polarization. ಆ polarites ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, if you take any polaroid that is having pass axis, if you take any polaroid it is having pass axis. If you take any light wave, sorry, okay, if you take any polaroid, I am telling about now Malus law, I am explaining about Malus law. This is a pass axis of the polaroid, this is the plane of vibration of the incident light. The light passes through the polaroid. This is plane of vibration of polarized light. This is pass axis. Now you can see there is an angle between these two, that is theta. What is theta? Angle between plane of vibration, this is a plane of vibration, and this is a pass axis. This is a pass axis and plane of vibration. So the angle between the plane of vibration and pass axis is what? Theta. When any polarized light passes through the polaroid, the intensity, this is initial intensity I naught, this is upcoming intensity I. So I equal to, see here formula, Malus law, I equal to I naught cos square theta. What is I naught? It is the intensity of incident light. What is theta? Angle between the plane of vibration and pass axis. This is a plane of vibration and pass axis. So what are the applications of polarites? Polarites are used in sun goggles, windows of automobiles, 3D views, to watch 3D movies, to produce plane polarized light. So you can see here, this is unpolarized light because there are two type of vibrations. Plane perpendicular to dot means plane perpendicular to dot means what? See, I have to drag the pen. Dot means what? It is perpendicular to plane of vibration, and a double arrow mark means it is along the plane of vibration. It is in the plane of vibration. Okay, now see here, this is unpolarized because it contains two set of vibrations. In polarized light we should have only one set. Here there are different set of vibrations, so it is not also polarized light, it is unpolarized light. Next slide I will go for. Next slide I will show the polarized light in that. See here, this is a polarized light. So what you are observing, it is a polarized light. In this light ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, only one set of vibrations. इसमें क्या रहता है, only one set of vibrations, only one set of vibrations. So it is a polarized light. It is also polarized light because it contains only dots, either dots or double arrow marks. Whether here only in this only dots are there, here in this only double arrow marks are there. This also polarized, this also polarized, only one set of vibrations. Next, methods of producing plane polarized light. Plane polarized light can be produced by reflection phenomena, multiple reflections, scattering, and using polarides. Okay, so next I will go for Brewster's law. So what is a Brewster's law? Brewster's law is, here it is derived, mu equal to tan IB. What is IB? Brewster's angle or angle of polarization or polarizing angle. All are same. Three names for this Brewster's angle, IB. IB means Brewster's angle or angle of polarization or polarizing angle. So tan mu is what? Refractive index. Refractive index is tangent of Brewster's angle or polarizing angle. This is known as Brewster's law. So here, what is a polarizing angle? If any incident ray, it is incident at one particular angle so that the reflected light gets completely polarized. At what angle the reflected light gets completely polarized? That angle is called Brewster's angle. That angle is called Brewster's angle. When at one particular incidence the reflected light is completely polarized, this is called Brewster's angle or polarizing angle. So last bit of the chapter derived Brewster's law. Okay, so with this I will stop the synopsis. Next I will continue the questions. Okay. Oh, it's okay. Welcome back, students. In this video, I'm going to continue the questions on questions or discussion of questions on wave optics. So the first questions on wave nature and interference of light. Okay. So let me read the first question. So first question is okay. First question is, for constructive interference to take place between two monochromatic light waves of wavelength lambda, the path difference should be. So what is the path difference? See here, for constructive interference to take place, so what is the path difference? As I told, the path difference should be even multiple of lambda by 2. For constructive interference, it is a even multiple of lambda by 2, or you can say path difference is delta x is written as n lambda, or integral multiple of lambda, or it is even multiple of lambda by 2. So which is our best option? Question number 1 is option C. Path difference is n lambda, or you can also say it is 2n lambda by 2. Both are same. Okay. So option is n lambda. Next question. Two sources of waves are called coherent. So I told what is two coherent sources. The coherent sources are, see, whether they are in same amplitude of aberration, they are the both product of waves are same wavelength, both produce waves of same wavelength having constant phase difference, both produce waves having same velocity. So which is a better option in this is the third one. What is coherent sources? They are having same wavelength having constant phase difference. That is the important part. Constant phase difference or even zero phase difference. So option is C, third one. Okay. Next we go for third question. A soap bubble appears colored due to the phenomena of. So he is saying whenever you see the soap bubbles at different angle, at different angle of at different positions of view, we can see different colors. If you see the soap bubble at different positions, it will appear different colors. That soap bubble appears colored, that is mainly because of the interference. So the light coming out of the soap film, they interfere and they produce what? Different colors, because the sunlight is incident. Sunlight shows different colors. That's why you can see soap bubble appearing colored due to interference. So next I will go to next question. Next question. Okay, sorry, go on. Next, fourth question. Which of the following statement indicates that light waves are transverse? So mainly, which phenomena will prove the light as a wave nature? The option is what? C. Option is what? C. When if you the light waves shows transverse nature because mainly of what? Polarization phenomena. When light waves are polarized, it shows what? The transverse nature. Okay, option is C. Fourth one is what? C. Okay, next one. Two light waves having same frequency, having same intensity, ratio 4:1. Sorry. Next, sorry. Fifth question. Say a fifth question. Two light waves having the frequency ratios having intensity ratio 4:1, they interfere. The ratio of maximum to minimum intensity in the pattern will be. Now we have to get a relation between maxima and here I maxima, intensity maxima to intensity minima. So what is the ratio of I maxima to I minima? So for this there is a one standard formula, that is root of I1 divided by I2 plus 1 whole divided by same term, root of I1 divided by I2 minus 1 whole bracket square. This is a standard formula. You must remember this one. So here I1 by I2 formula is given. I1 by I2 is how much? It is 4 is to 1. So root of 4 is to 1 my plus 1. Here root of 4 is to 1 minus 1. Here also square. Here also square. So if you do the calculation, 4 is to 1 means root of 4 is to 1 is 2. 2 plus 1, it is 2 minus 1 whole square. 2 plus 1 means 3 square. 9 divided by, it is 1. 1 square means 1. So option is A. So what is the ratio of I maximum by I minimum? 9 is to 1. Okay, sixth question. Evidence of the wave nature of light cannot be obtained from. So evidence of wave nature of light cannot be obtained. Which phenomena doesn't give the wave nature? So Doppler effect, definitely wave nature. Diffraction, wave nature. Interference, also wave nature. But reflection, it cannot particularly say it is a wave nature, because reflection is a phenomena which uses both particle nature as well as wave nature. That's why reflection cannot say it is only wave. It can say it is particle or wave. The reflection phenomena wave nature ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, particle nature ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, particular ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ evidence of wave nature cannot be obtained from reflection. So but all these three phenomena particularly shows wave nature. Okay, so option is A. Sixth one A. Next one, seventh question. So next is two light sources are said to be, I'll read the question. Two light sources are said to be coherent if they are obtained from. When you say that there are two coherent sources, if they are obtained from a single point source. If you obtain the two sources from a single point, then the two light waves coming from the sources S1 and S2, they act as coherent. These are coherent. When they act as coherent, if they are coming from a single point source, means option is B. So seventh question, answer is B. Okay, next question. So I'll move to next question. Eighth one. So eighth one is, I will select the pen first. Eighth one, wavelength of light of frequency 100 Hz. There is a wavelength of light of frequency 100 Hz. So what is the wavelength of this 100 Hz frequency? Simple answer, relation between wavelength and frequency. So we know that frequency is nu equal to C by lambda. So lambda equal to C by nu. So C is 3 into 10 raised to 8. This is 100. So this will be 3 into 10 raised to 6 meter. So answer is B. Eighth one B. Okay, next one. Two waves of, ninth question. Two waves having intensity in the ratio 25:4 produce interference. What is the ratio of maximum by minimum? Just I have done one problem already. Just repeat that. I maximum by I minimum. What is the formula for I maximum by I minimum in terms of intensity ratios? Root of I1 divided by I2 plus 1. This is root of I1 divided by I2 minus 1 whole square. So it will be 25 by 4. 25 by root 2, take it, 25 by 4 root is what? 5 by 2 plus 1. What is this one? 5 by 2 minus 1. So if you square, so what happens here? It will be 5 plus 2 whole square, 5 minus 2 whole square. 5 plus 2 whole square is 7. 7 square is 49. 5 minus 2 whole square, LCM. 5 minus 2 whole square is 3. 3 square is 9. So 2, the LCM is 2, 2 get cancelled. So no 2 remains, only 5 plus 2, 5 minus 2. 5 plus 2 by 5 plus 2 whole square, 5 minus 2 whole square, it is 49 by 9. Option is C. So for option is what? C. Okay. So next we move for next question. 10th one. 10th question. So 10th question. Wavefront means, what is a wavefront? What is a wavefront? Sorry. all particles are in the same phase, all particles are in opposite phase, opposite vibrations, few particles are in same phase and are in opposite phase, none of these. So simple answer is all particles are having same phase. That is the meaning of wave front. That is the meaning of what? Wave front. Okay, so next question. Wavefront of wave A wavefront of a wave has a direction. Wavefront of a wave has a direction with wave motion parallel or perpendicular or opposite or at an angle of theta. So very simple answer for this question. It is any wavefront, it is moving perpendicular to the propagation of the wave, means angle is 90 degree, means perpendicular. So wavefront of a wave has a direction with wave motion which is perpendicular. Okay. Okay, continue with the 12th question. Already I have discussed about 11th question, and next move to 12th question. Which one of the following phenomena is not explained by Huygens construction of wavefront? So here, 12th question. Which of the following phenomena is not explained by Huygens construction of wavefront? So the answer is whether option is refraction is correct, or reflection, or diffraction, or origin of spectra. See here, refraction, reflection, and diffraction, all these are discussed on wave theory, but origin of spectra, it is not based on Huygens wave theory. So the option is D. Origin of spectra cannot be explained on Huygens construction of wavefront. So option is D. Okay, next question. 13th. Interference was observed in interference chamber when air was present. Now, the chamber is evacuated, and if the same light is used, a careful observer will see. So, when you remove the air and introduce the chamber with evacuation, evacuation means vacuum, the careful observer will see that what you are going to observe. So the interference, no interference, interference with the bright bands, interference with only dark bands, and interference in which the width of the fringe will slightly decrease. So the simple answer is the interference of the width of fringe will slightly increase, because beta is inversely proportional to fringe width. Beta is inversely proportional to refractive index. From air to vacuum, what happens? The n will decrease. If n decreases, beta will increase. So option is what? D. Interference in which width of the fringes will slightly increase. Okay, next move to this 19th question. So 19th question is, 14th question. Okay, 14th question. The ratio of intensities of two waves are given. I1 by I2 is given. I1 divided by I2 is given how much? 4:1. The ratio of amplitudes of the ratio. Amplitude ratio. So intensity of any light is directly proportional to square of amplitude. If you overwrite this, I1 by I2 will be A1 square by what? A2 square. So this implies A1 by A2, it is equal to root of I1 divided by I2. I1 by I2 means root of 4 divided by 1. It will be 2:1. So 2:1 is the correct option. 14th is option A. 2:1. 15th question. For sustained interference of light, the necessary condition is the two sources should have option have constant phase difference, narrow, the two sources be close to each other of the same amplitude. So the best option is they should have constant phase difference. Out of the four, which one is the best one? They should have constant phase difference for sustained interference. So 15th is option A. Okay, 16th. The ratio of amplitudes of the two waves is 4:3. So the ratio of maximum by minimum. Now I am going to write a new formula. The ratio of I maximum divided by I minimum. The ratio of I maximum by I minimum in terms of amplitudes. In terms of ratio of amplitude, A1 plus A2 divided by A1 minus A2 whole square. This is in terms of amplitudes. So if you take a ratio, in terms of ratio, A1 by A2 plus 1, A1 by A2 minus 1 whole square. Substitution and do the calculation. Now what is the answer? A1 plus A2, sorry, sorry. So A1 plus A2 whole square divided by A1 minus A2 whole square, it will be here equal to, so it is equal to, here A1 plus A2 by plus whole square divided by A1 minus A2 whole square, it will be, answer will be, sorry, A1 by A2 means what? 4 by 3 plus 1, 4 by 3 minus 1 whole square. 4 by 3 plus 1 whole square, 4 by 3 minus 1 whole square, answer will be what? 4 plus 3 whole square, 4 by 4 minus 3 whole square. 4 plus 3 whole square is 7 square, 7 square is 49. 4 minus 3 is 1, 1 square, 1 square means 1. So answer is 49:1. So option is C. So next question. Next question, 17th. Which of the following is conserved when the light waves interfere? So simple answer, is it intensity conserved, energy or amplitude or momentum? The best answer is energy. So during interference of light, the light energy gets modified but total energy gets conserved. So answer is energy. So next 18th question, intensity of light depends on. So intensity of light depends on what? Whether velocity, wavelength, amplitude or frequency. Out of this, best answer is C. We know that intensity is directly proportional to square of amplitude. So 18th option is C. So next one, a ray diverging from a point source from a wavefront, that is, any ray diverging from a point source from a wavefront, that is, it is cylindrical or spherical or plane or cubical. So which is the correct option? 19th is B, because the point source, any point source gives what? Spherical wavefront. So option is B, spherical. So next one, 20th. The ratio of amplitudes of interference waves is how much? 3:4. Then what is the new ratio of their? Now the ratio of their intensities will be. So you are asked to calculate intensities. Intensity is what? I1 by I2 ratio. It is equal to, intensity is directly proportional to square of amplitude. A1 square divided by A2 square. A1 square by A2 square means what? 3 square by 4 square. 3 square by 4 square means answer is 9 by 16. So option is 9 by 16. It is C. So 20th option is C. Okay. So next we move for next part, that is next topic is Young's double slit experiment. So first question in the Young's double slit experiment. Read the question. Young's experiment establishes that light consists of waves, light consists of particles, light consists of neither particles nor waves, light consists of both particles and waves. Which is correct option? So we know that interference is having wave nature. So Young's double slit is referred, Young's double slit experiment is related to interference. So it is having wave nature. Light consists of waves. Okay, next, in the interference pattern, the energy is, what happens to energy? It is created at maxima, it is destroyed at minima, conserved but redistributed, none of the above. So correct option is C. The energy is conserved but it is redistributed from one position to another position. So option is C. So next question, third one. A monochromatic green light of wavelength 5 into 10 raised to minus 7 meter illuminates a pair of slits 1 millimeter apart. The slits are 1 millimeter apart. The separation of the bright lines on the interference pattern found on the screen 2 meter away. So here you are asked to calculate separation of bright lines, means fringe width. So what is the formula for fringe width? Fringe width is lambda capital D by small d. So it is equal to, lambda is already we know 5 into 10 raised to minus 7 into capital D 2. It is divided by 1 millimeter, and the 1 into 10 raised to minus 3. It is equal to 5 into 2 10. 10 by 1 10 by 1 into 10 raised to minus 4. It is 1 into 10 raised to minus 3, means 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter. So answer is 1 millimeter. It is C. Okay. So third one answer is C. Okay. Next question, fourth one. In Young's double slit experiment, if the slits are in the ratio 1:3, what are the slit? No, so slits are slit widths. Slit widths are in the ratio 1:9, not 1:3, 1:9. Then the ratio of the intensity of minima to that at maxima will be. Now here the slit width ratio is given. The slit width ratio is given. So you are asked to calculate intensity minima. Okay, so to get intensity minima, we know that intensity is directly proportional to slit width W. So I1 divided by I2, it is also equal to W1 slit width 1 divided by slit width 2. It means 1:9. So 1:9. So I minimum, it is I minimum given, I minimum divided by I maximum. I minimum by I maximum. It is in terms of amplitude as A1 square by A2 square. A1 means amplitude of first and A2 means amplitude of second. It is further written as root I1 divided by root I2. So root I1 by root I2. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I'll take the eraser. Okay, now here I maximum by I minimum. I maximum by I minimum can be written as root. It is root of I1 by I2 whole divided by root of I1 by I2. See, it is minima is at the numerator, maxima is at the denominator. So it will be minus 1 here. Here it will be plus 1 whole bracket square. So I minimum by I maxima is root of I1 by I2 minus 1, because minima is present at the numerator, so it is minus at the numerator. So do the calculations and you will get the answer as 1 by 9. 1 by 9 means 1 by 3 minus 1. It is 1 by 3 plus 1. So what will be the answer? Do the calculations. 1 by 3 divided by 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 means it is whole square. Again it is whole square. 1 by 3, 1 minus 3 means 2 square. Minus 2 square, of course it come minus 2 square. Minus 2 square is what? Plus 4. It is 1 plus 3 whole square. 1 plus 3 means 4. 4 square. 4 square means what? 16. So answer is 4 by 1:4 is the correct option. So answer is C, 1:4. Okay. So next question, fifth one. Fifth one, in Young's double slit experiment, the slit separation is made threefold. The slit separation is made threefold. The fringe width becomes, if the slit separation made is threefold, threefold means one third, thrice. Beta, we know that beta is inversely proportional to small d, slit width. So here slit separation is made threefold, means three times. So it is d is made three times, so beta will go to what, one third. So again, what is the option here? A. So fringe width becomes one third times, 1 by 3 times, one third. Okay, next we move for sixth question. In a certain double slit experiment arrangement, interference fringes of width 1 millimeter are each are observed when light of wavelength 500 angstrom is used, keeping the setup unaltered. If the source is replaced by another source of wavelength 6000 angstrom unit, the fringe width will be, okay, here there is a relation between fringe width and wavelength. So fringe width beta equal to lambda capital D divided by small d. It implies beta is directly proportional to lambda. It implies beta 1 by beta 2 it is equal to lambda 1 divided by lambda 2. So beta 1 is how much? 1. Beta 2 is how much? Beta 2 we don't know as it is. Lambda 1 is how much? 5000. Lambda 2 is how much? 6000. These all cancels, 5 by 6. So beta 2 is written as 6 by 5. 6 by 5 means 1.2 millimeter. Answer is 1.2 millimeter, C. So C is the correct option, 1.2 millimeter. Okay, next question, seventh one. Two coherent sources, light sources, S1 and S2. Wavelength is 6000 angstrom unit, are 1 millimeter apart from each other. So what is separation between the two slits? Small d is 1 millimeter. Wavelength is 6000. The screen is placed at a distance 25 centimeter from the sources. The width of the fringes is, so width of fringes beta equal to lambda capital D by small d. Beta is how much? 6000. Take it as 6. So I are going short, very short. 6. Small d is 25. Small d capital D is 25. Small d is 1. Multiply 6 into 25, 150. 150 by 1. 150 by 1 means you will get in terms of 150. So 150 means you will get in terms of 15. So 15 means 0.015 centimeter. No other options are in 1.5. So best option is 0.015. Or you can go for complete solution. And then I direct here lambda and the 6 number ashtu toli 6. Capital D 25 ಇದೆ 25 centimeter 25 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. Small d ಏನದ 1 millimeter number ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ 1. 6 into 25 by 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 150 by 1. 150 means it is of the order of 15 ಒಳಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಆನ್ಸರ್. 15 ಒಳಗೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಿವೆ? ಇದು ಒಂದೇ, ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ 6000 into 10 raised to minus 10 into 25 into 10 raised to minus 2 divided by 1 millimeter and 1 into 10 raised to minus 3. ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಸೇಮ್. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ. Let's move for 8th question. Eighth question. The figure shows a double slit experiment. P and Q are slits. The path lengths Px and Qx. The path lengths Px and Qx are n lambda and n plus 2 lambda respectively, where n is a whole number, lambda is wavelength. Taking the central fringe is 0, what is formed at x? So what is the path difference? What is the path difference? Delta x. It is written as Qx minus Px. Qx is what? N plus 2 into lambda minus Px is n lambda. Do the calculation, you will get what? 2 lambda. path difference delta x is 2 lambda. It is constructive. It is constructive. Constructive, which number came here? 2. 2 means second. Second fringe is bright. Bright fringe. So second bright fringe means C is the correct option. So 2 lambda means second bright fringe. Constructive difference, bright fringe. Because constructive difference general formula is n lambda. N lambda means 0 lambda, 1 lambda, 0 lambda, 1 lambda, 2 lambda. 0 lambda central, 1 lambda first bright fringe, 2 lambda second bright fringe. Okay, option is second bright fringe. Next question. Move to the next question. In Young's double slit experiment, if one of the slit is closed fully, then in the interference pattern, a bright slit will be observed, no interference pattern will exist. The bright fringes will become more bright. The bright fringes will become fainter. None of these. What is the correct option? If you, in one of the Young's double slit experiment, if you completely close one of the slit, only the light waves coming from the one slit will produce a bright slit here. Means a bright slit is observed, no interference. Means the light waves coming from single slit produces a bright slit because of diffraction. Here the light waves will bend. So due to diffraction, a bright slit is observed. Only bright slit is observed due to diffraction, no interference. So option is A. So next question, 10th question. I move to 10th question. In Young's double slit experiment, a glass plate is placed before a slit which absorbs half the intensity of light. Under this case, note, in Young's double slit experiment, there are two slits, S1 and S2. S1 and S2. If one of the slit is covered with a glass plate and the glass plate before it absorbs half intensity, it absorbs half intensity. Under this case, what happens? The brightness of fringes decreases, the fringe width decreases, no fringe is observed, the bright fringes become fainter and the dark fringes have finite intensity. See here, whenever a glass plate is placed in the path of one of the slit, the brightness of the fringes becomes fainter. So best option is D. The brightness of the fringes becomes fainter and the dark fringes will have some finite intensity. So option is D. 10th one is D. 11th one. In Young's double slit experiment, the distance between the slit C is reduced to half. In the Young's double slit experiment, the distance between the slit C is reduced to half. And the distance between the slits and screen is doubled. Capital D is doubled, small d is made half. What happens to fringe width? For fringe width formula, beta equal to lambda capital D by small d. So means beta is directly proportional to capital D, inverse proportional to small d. Capital D is made doubled, small d is made half. So it will become, it will come up, so 4 means beta becomes 4 means 4 times. So option will be D. So 11th one is D. Okay. Next question. Move to next question. Maximum intensity of fringes in Young's experiment is I. So what is the maximum intensity? Maximum intensity is I. Now if one of the slit is closed and the intensity at that place becomes I naught. The intensity becomes what? I naught. Which of the following relation is true between I and I naught? So maximum intensity formula is, so if you take two slits, the maximum intensity is produced at some point, that is I maximum. If you close one of the slits, the light coming produces only that intensity and the slit ninda ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ intensity ಬರುತ್ತೆ and I naught ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? If one of the slit is closed, whatever the light coming from the slit, it will print at that position, that is I naught. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ I maximum is intensity I maximum equal to 4 times I dash incident intensity 4 I dash cos square theta 4. First time I maximum formula I maximum equal 4 I dash cos square theta. What is I dash? I dash is the incident intensity is 4 I dash cos square theta is what? For maximum intensity theta should be 0. Cos 0 square 1 means I maximum equal to 4 I dash. For first case, if one of the slit is closed, the intensity I dash, incident intensity equal to the upcoming intensity, that is I dash is equal to I. So if you compare these two equations, I dash equal to I naught, first time I maximum equal to 4 I dash. So what it will be there? 4, what is the relation between these two? It is written as I. 4 I dash is written as how much? I maximum is written as I. I maximum is written as I. I maximum is I, and for closing one slit it is I naught. So I maximum is 4 I dash, which is I. Second case I dash is only one slit, I naught. So compare these two, 4 I dash equal to I and I dash equal to I naught. Compare these two, 4 I dash means I naught equal to I. So means what is the relation between these two? I equal to 4 I naught. So option is D is correct option. So once again I will repeat, when I intensity is maximum, I maximum equal to 4 I dash cos square theta. Theta is 0. I maximum equal to 4 I dash. 4 I dash, which is I maximum is not I maximum, it is given as I. So 4 I dash equal to I, because I maximum equal to I. It is given I maximum is I. It is given. In second case I dash, incident intensity is I naught. Incident intensity I dash becomes equal to I naught, because one of the slit is closed, only one intensity is produced. So the relation between these two is 4 I equal to 4 I naught. Option C. So next question, 13th one. In Young's double slit experiment, the ratio of intensities of bright and dark fringes is 9. The ratio of intensity of bright and dark fringes is 9. This means that intensity of the individual waves are 5 and 4. Intensity of individual sources are 4 and 1. Ratio of amplitudes is 3. The ratio of amplitudes is 2. So bright and dark indicates what? What is the meaning of bright and dark? I maxima is bright, I minima is dark. The ratio of this is 9. 9 is to 1. If it is 9 is to 1, then what should be the ratio? See here, if it is 9 is to 1, so what is the formula for this? A1 by A2 plus, see here, A1, sorry, this is, I will erase this first. Okay, now I'll take the pen. So okay, A. It is what? A1 plus A2 whole divided by A1 minus A2. I maxima is A1 plus A2, I minima is A1 minus A2. 9 is to 1. So A1 plus A2 by A1 minus A2 is 9 is to 1. Then A1 plus A2 divided by A1 minus A2, it is what? 9 is to 1. 9 is to 1 means 3 is to 1, taking the root. So A1 plus A2 divided by A1 minus A2 equal to 3 is to 1. If this implies A1 by A2 will be 2 is to 1. A1 plus A2 will be 2 is to 1. If A1 by A2 is 2 is to 1, the ratio of amplitudes is 2. That is, D is correct. Now check other options in terms of ratios of intensities. I1 by I2 is how much? I1 by I2 is A1 square by A2 square. That is also correct. A1 by A2 means 2 square by 1 square, means 4 by 1. So I1 by I2 will be 4 by 1, means B is also correct. So options will D and B are correct. Options D and B both are correct in this case. Okay, so next move for the 14th question. 14th is, in in an oil on water screen colored due to interference. An oil flowing on water seems colored due to interference. For observing this effect, the approximate thickness of the film should be. See here, for interference, the thickness should be nearly equal to wavelength of visible light. The wavelength of visible light ranges from 4000 angstrom to 8000 angstrom minute. Now for this, which one is the correct option? Which range is nearest? Which option is nearest to this visible light range? Thickness should be nearly equal to wavelength. Wavelength range is from 4000 to 8000. So which is the correct option? 100 is very least, 1 millimeter is very least, 1 centimeter is also least. So 10,000 is in the range. So 10,000 angstrom should be the thickness of the oil. And the 10,000 angstrom thickness ಆದರೆ nearer to visible range ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಇಂಟರ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. Thickness should be nearly equal to wavelength range 4000 to 8000. So means 10,000 angstrom is the correct option. Next one. In Young's experiment, the Young's experiment is performed with lights of blue, lambda equal to 4360 angstrom minute, green, wavelength 5460 angstrom minute. The distance of fourth fringe from the center is x. Fourth fringe from center is x. So this is screen, this is center, this is fourth fringe. The distance from center to fourth fringe is x. So which is correct option? So we know that xn is equal to n lambda capital D by small d. Distance from nth bright fringe. For nth bright fringe, what is the distance? Xn equal to n lambda d by d. Means xn, distance of fringe, any bright fringe, is direct proportional to wavelength. So which wavelength is more? Either green or blue. You can see green color is having more wavelength compared to blue. That indicates green color distance is more than blue. Green color distance is more than blue, or blue color distance is less than green. Both are same. Means x for blue less than x for green. Means 15th option is C. 15th option is what? C. Okay. So move to next question. 16. In Young's double slit experiment, the spacing between the two slits is 0.1 millimeter. The spacing between the two slits is how much? Small d, 0.1 millimeter. Now we go for, if the screen is kept at a distance of 1 meter, capital D, from the slits, the wavelength of light is 5000 fringe width. So for distance, very simple, for lambda beta equal to lambda capital D by small d. So look, all the numericals are different. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ numericals 1 ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1.5, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 0.52. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 5000. ಇದು 5. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಳಗಿದೆ? 1. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಳಗಿದೆ? ಅದು 1 ಒಳಗಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 5 ಒಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 5 ಒಳಗಂದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನು? ಸಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈ ಸಿ. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿದೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? So lambda 5000, numerical 5, capital D 1 meter, numerical 1, slit, the distance 0.1, numerical 1, illu 1a, so 1, either 0.1 or 1, so 5 into 1 by 0.1, here it comes in 5 ಒಳಗಿರುವಂಥ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವುದು? 0.5 centimeter. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 0.5 centimeter. Or in detail you do the calculation, 5000 angstrom into 10 raised to minus 10. 10 raised to minus 10. Then into small capital D 1 meter divided by 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 3. Do this all calculation, you will get the same answer. Okay. Next question. 17th. In Young's double slit experiment, if L is the distance between the slit and screen, and this is capital D, upon which the interference period observed. X is the average distance between the adjacent fringes, and the beta, this is beta, small d as it is small d. Now what is the wavelength of light? So beta equal to lambda capital D by small d. So lambda equal to beta small d by capital D. Beta is x, capital D, small d as it is, capital D is L, xd by L. Xd by L means option A is correct. Okay. So next we move for next question. 18th question. 18th, in Young's double slit experiment, the central point on the screen is, what is the central point on the screen in Young's double slit? It is always bright. So option 18th option is A. The in Young's double slit experiment, the center spot is always bright because of the constructive interference. Okay. 19th, in Young's double slit experiment, the fringe width is found to be 0.4 mm. The whole apparatus is immersed in a refractive index 4/3 without disturbing the geometric arrangement. The new fringe width. So the new fringe width beta dash equal to initial fringe width divided by refractive index. Initial fringe width is how much? 0.4 divided by refractive index is 4/3. So doing the calculation, it will be 0.3 mm means 0.3 millimeter. Option A is correct. So 19th option is correct. So next question, 20th. Young's experiment is performed in air, then performed in water. Fringe width. What happens to the fringe width? Just go through above question. Fringe width is inversely proportional to refractive index. If n increases from air to water, n increases from air to water, if n increases, beta will decrease. Beta will decrease means fringe width will decrease. Option B is correct. So 20th B is correct. Okay. So next question, 21. In double slit experiment, for a light of which color fringe width will be minimum? Violet, red, green, yellow. Options. So as we know that beta is beta is inversely proportional to, or you can say directly go for beta is directly proportional to lambda. Beta is directly proportional to lambda wavelength. So fringe width is directly proportional to wavelength. Which wavelength is minimum, that is having minimum fringe width? From violet to red, Vibgyor, Vibgyor. Let me recall Vibgyor, violet to red. Violet is least wavelength, red is highest wavelength. So least wavelength is violet. For this, fringe width is also least, means 21st option is violet. Which is having least wavelength? Violet. So violet is least wavelength, so fringe width is also least. So option is A. Okay. So next we move for next question, 22. In Young's experiment, light of wavelength 4000 instrument is used to produce bright fringes of width 0.6 mm at a distance of 2 meters. The whole apparatus is dipped in a liquid of refractive index 1.5. What is the new fringe width? So initial fringe width is 0.6 mm. You are asked to calculate new fringe width. So don't observe for the wavelength or the distance of the screen and splits 2 meter. Just go for beta, new fringe width beta dash equal to initial fringe width beta by n. Initial fringe width is written as 0.6 millimeter. Initial 0.6 millimeter. Refractive index 1.5. 0.6 divided by 3/2. 1.5 means 3/2. So doing this calculations, it will be 0.4 millimeter. 0.4 millimeter means option C is correct. 22 option C. Next we go for 23. Question number 23. In Young's double slit experiment, the phase difference between the light waves reaching the third bright fringe from central fringe will be. In Young's double slit experiment, the phase difference between the light waves reaching the third bright fringe from central maxima is, central fringe is What is the phase difference? The phase difference phi equal to what is the general formula? 2n pi. For third bright fringe n equal to 3 means it is 6 pi. It will be answer D. So 23 option is 6 pi. For phase difference for bright fringe is phi equal to 2n pi, general formula. Third bright fringe n equal to 3. So total answer 6 pi. Move to next question 24. In Young's double slit experiment, if the weights of the slits are in the ratio 4:9, the ratio of the intensity of maximum to intensity minima. Very simple answer. I maximum by I minimum, it is asked. I maximum by I minimum. So slit width ratio is given. Slit width nothing but you can count it as intensity ratios W1 by W2 plus 1 root of W1 by W2 minus 1 whole square. So do the calculation. Slit width ratio 4 by 9 root plus 1, it is root 4 by 9 minus 1 whole square. So 4 plus, it is 2 by 3 2 plus 3 whole square, 2 minus 3 whole square, 2 plus 3 is 5 square means 25. So you'll get 25. 2 minus 3 denominator 1 square means 125 to 1. Option 24 is C. You do the calculations. The next one, 25th. In Young's double slit experiment, when the wavelength of light is 6000, the screen is 40 centimeter from the slits, the fringes are 0.012 centimeter wide, the distance between the slits is, so beta is lambda capital D by small d. My technique is D equal to what? Lambda capital D by small d. Lambda number toli ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಒಂದೇ ರೇಂಜ್ ಈಗ ನಂಬರ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 0.24 24 24 ಅವೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ರೇಂಜ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಂಬರ್ ತೊಗೊಬೇಡ. ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್. ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ ಈಸ್ 6000 angstrom minute and 6 into 10 raised to minus 10 into then what is the next one? Screen is placed capital D 40 centimeter, 40 into 10 raised to minus 2 divided by next small d 0.012 into 10 raised to minus 3. do the calculation. You'll get the answer as 0.2. 0.2 is the correct option. Or number ಪ್ರಕಾರ ತೋಳಿ 6 into 4 24 by 12 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 2 ರೇಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ನೋಡಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರನೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ 6, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಡಿ 4, ಇದು 12 ಅದ್ರ ಏನಾಯ್ತು 24 by 12 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 ರೇಂಜ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಓನ್ಲಿ 1. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, so next 26. In two separate setups of Young's double slit experiment, fringes of equal width are observed when lights of wavelengths in the ratio 1:2 is used. The fringes of equal width are observed when lights of wavelength in the ratio 1:2 is used. The ratio of the slit separation in the two cases is 2:1. The ratio of distances from the planes of the slits and the screen and the capital D1 by D2. So beta is equal to what is the formula? Lambda capital D by small d, or you can write beta 1 by beta 2 equal to lambda 1 by lambda 2 d1 by d2 and small d2 by d1. Inverse proportion d2. ಈಗ beta 1 beta 2 cancels because they are equal, so it is 1. Lambda 1 by lambda 2 how much? 1:2. d1 by d2 how much? 2:1. ನಮಗೇನು ಬೇಕು? ಸಾರಿ, ಇದು d1 by d2 it is asked. d1 by d2 capital D1 by d2 is asked. Small d1 by d2 is given, but it is d1 by d2. ಇದು d1 ಇದು d2. ನಮಗೇನು ಬೇಕು? d2 by d1. ಅದ್ರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಇದು 2:1. ಅದರ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? 2 get cancelled. So option in ಬರುತ್ತೆ 26 option say somewhere went wrong. Fringe width first I will erase calculation mistake ಆಗಿದೆ. Okay, now see here see here beta 1 beta 2 cancels because they're equal. Lambda 1 by lambda 2, how much it is? Lambda 1 by lambda 2, lambda ratio of wavelengths 1:2, 1:2 is used. The ratio of wavelengths is 1:2. Okay, now capital D1 by D2 is asked. Capital D1 by D2 is asked. Okay, next ratio of the small d's 2:1 ಇದೆ. D1 by D2 is 2:1. Now make the reciprocal D2 by D1, it is 1:2, means D1 is 1 ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. D1 by D2 equal to 2 multiply 4:1 is the correct option. 4:1 means option A is correct. Okay, so next we move on next question. 17th, in interference experiment the spacing between the two successive maxima or successive minima is called beta. Beta formula is how much? Lambda d by d. Lambda d by d means option B is correct. Indirectly it is asked as distance between two successive maxima or distance between two successive minima. Distance between two successive maxima or distance between two successive minima is called fringe width. Okay, next question. If yellow light in the Young's double slit experiment is replaced by red light, the fringe width will from yellow to red. What happens to wavelength? Wavelength will increase. From yellow to red, wavelength will increase. If wavelength increases, fringe width also increases. Why? Beta is directly proportional to lambda, means option is C. 28th option C is correct. Next 29th question. In Young's double slit experiment, the fringe width is 1 into 10⁻⁻⁴ meter. If the distance between the slit and screen is doubled, the distance between the two slits is made half. The wavelength is changed from 6.4 to 4.0 into 10⁻⁷ meter. Then the new value of fringe width will be. So what is the new value of the fringe width? So 29th question. Okay, fringe width. I will write the formula for fringe width. Fringe width is what? Fringe width is what? Lambda capital D divided by small d. So here fringe width is made. See here, beta 1 by beta 2, it is written as lambda 1 by lambda 2, capital D1 by D2, small d2 by d1. Using this relation, beta 1 by beta 2 as it is. Lambda 1 is what? Lambda 1 is, it is 6.4. Wavelength change from 6.4 to new wavelength is 4. Okay, into d1 by d2. d1 is how much? Distance between the slits and screen is doubled. d1 is d1, new is d2d1 doubled. Okay, small d1 d2 by d1 is small d2 by d1. Initial small d is what? It is made half, means d2 is made d1 divided by 2, it is d1. So d1 d1 cancels, d1 d1 this cancels. So answer is nodi 6.4 divided by 4 into idodi 1 by 2 ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 by 2 and the 1 by 4 means 6.4 by 4. So totally ಏನಾಯ್ತು ನೋಡ್ರಿ, 2 4 ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ d1 by 2 ಹಾಫ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗೆ 2 ಬಂತು, ಈ d1 d1 ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು 2 ಉಳಿತು, 2 ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು 2 ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು 2, ಟೋಟ್ಲಿ 2 into 2 into 4 means totally 16 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ beta 1 ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಫ್ರಿಂಜ್ ವಿಡ್ತ್ 1 into 10⁻⁻⁴. ನ್ಯೂ ಫ್ರಿಂಜ್ ವಿಡ್ತ್ beta 2 ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಬಂತು? 6.4 by 16 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 6.4 by 16. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ, ಬೀಟಾ 2 ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 16 ಇಂಟು 10⁻⁻4 ಬೈ 6.4 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. 6 ಒಂದಲೇ 6 ಎರಡೇ 12, 6 ಎರಡೇ 12 ಅಂದರೆ 2.5 ನಿಯರ್ಲಿ ರೇಂಜ್ನಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 2.5 ರೇಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 2.5 ಅಂದರೆ ಡಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. 6 1 6 2 12 ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಹಾಫ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ 2.5 ರೇಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 2.5 ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದು, ಡಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಬೀಟಾ 1 ಬೀಟಾ 2 ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು lambda 1 by lambda 2 d1 by d2 d2 by d1. lambda 1 6.4 d lambda 2 4, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. 6.4 4 d1 ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್, ನ್ಯೂ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಡಬಲ್ 2d1. d2 by d1 ಅಂದರೆ d2 ಮೇಡ್ d1 by 2 ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ d1. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 by 2, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು 1 by 2 1 by 4, ಇದು 6.4 by 4, 6.4 by 1 by 4 and 6.4 by 16 ಬಂತು. 16 ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, 16. ಬೀಟಾ 1 1 ಇಂಟು 10⁻⁻4 ಬೀಟಾ 2 ಆಗಿದೆ. ಬೀಟಾ 2 ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 16 ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, 6.4 ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ 2.5. ಇದು ಇಂಟು 10⁻⁻4 ಇರೋದೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್, ಡಿ. 30th. In Young's experiment, one slit is covered with blue filter and other slit with yellow filter. Then interference pattern will. So ನೋಡಿ 30th question ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, if in Young's experiment one of the slit is covered with blue filter, one is covered with blue filter, other is covered with what, yellow filter, then the interference pattern will be, for interference lambda should be same, but for one is blue, other is yellow, so wavelengths are different, so they are not coherent. If not coherent, the interference will not be observed. So option is D, interference is not observed on the screen. Okay, so next part I will move to diffraction, the questions on diffraction of light. Okay, diffraction, I will read the question on diffraction. For a slit width A is illuminated by white light. The red light, for red light wavelength is 6500 angstrom minute. The first minima is obtained at 30° angle. The value of A will be, for first minima, so see here I will write the formula, theta equal to n lambda by A is slit width, or D, n lambda by D. For first minima, 1 into lambda by D. Lambda is given 6500 into 10⁻⁻10 whole divided by small d. Small d is how much? A is asked. Okay, small d is asked. ಇದನ್ನೇ A ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. Small d instead of small d, A. Theta is given 30°. 30° na pi by 6. 30° means pi by 6. Pi by 6 into 6500 into 10⁻⁻10 divided by E. E ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಎ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಎ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 6 ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಇದು 65, ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ತಗೋಣ, 6500 ಇಂಟು 10⁻⁻10 ನೀವು ಇಟ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ, ಇದು ನೋಡಿ ಪಾಯ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದರೆ 3.142 ಪಾಯ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, 6 ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 3 ಎಷ್ಟು ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇದನ್ನು ಹಾಗೆ ಟೋಟಲಾಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣ, 65 ಇಂಟು 6 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 3, adjust to numbers only. Okay, 3 1s 3 2s, 2 into 65, 2 into 65 means 2 into 65 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಯರ್ಲಿ 60 ಡಬಲ್ 120 130. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ನಿಯರ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ 130 ಅಂದರೆ 130 ಅಂದರೆ 1.24 ಮೈಕ್ರಾನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರಿ, 1.2 ಮೈಕ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ರೇಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಡೂ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್, ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಇದು ಪಾಯ್, ಇದು 6, ಇದು 6500 ಎ. ಇದು ತೊಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಪಾಯ್ ಅಂದರೆ 3.142 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 6, 6500ಅಲ್ಲಿ 65 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಎ. ಇದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ 3 1s 3 2s, 2 ಇಂಟು 65 130. ಸೊ ಎ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 130 ರೇಂಜ್. 130 ರೇಂಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ 13 ಯಾವುದು, 12 124 ಇದಂಗೆ 130 and 124 nearly C option is correct. Because separately if you do calculations you'll get same answer. Second one, the light of wavelength 632 angstrom unit is incident on a slit of width 0.2 millimeter perpendicular the angular width of central maxima. What is the angular width of the central maxima? Now I am going to write what is the angular width. Angular width theta equal to sin theta. What is the formula for sin theta? Sin theta equal to angular width sin theta equal to lambda by d. Lambda by d. Lambda is how much? Lambda is 6328 angstrom minute. Angstrom minute minus 10 it is divided by d. Small d is 0.2 millimeter. If you do the calculations you will get sin theta is nearly theta. Sin theta is nearly theta. Theta equal to this nearly theta and the ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 632 into 10 raised to minus 10 divided 0.2 millimeter. Theta is equal to how much you will get 6328 divided by 0.2. Inna we have to convert it into degree. How to convert it into degree? 6328 into 10 raised to minus 10 divided by 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 degree to radian. So it is radian. It is converted into degree ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 180 by pi. So do the calculations. ನೋಡಿ pi and the 3.142. If you do the calculations you will get around 0.18 degree. 0.18 degree ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Theta is 0.18 degree but ನಮಗೆ angular width is 2 theta. 2 theta under 36 0 sorry 0 I think there is a sorry 0.180 degree 0.180 degree double is how much 0.36 degree. 0.36 degree is the correct option. So 0.36 degree means A is correct. So sin theta is what? Lambda by d. Lambda by d means 632 into 10 raised to minus 10 divided by 0.2 into 0.2 into 0.2 millimeter radian is 632 into 10 raised to minus 10 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 into radian to degree 180 by pi. If you do the calculations you will get 0.18 degree. 0.18 degree. Now angular width is double theta 2 theta. Angular width formula is 2 theta. So 0.36 degree. Angular width of central maxima formula is 2 theta 0.36 degree. Okay, next question. Move to next question. The bending of light around the cornerstone obstacle is called. The simple answer is diffraction. The bending of light rays is diffraction. Next one, fourth one. The penetration of light into the region of geometrical shadow is called. That is also same answer. That is the diffraction. The penetration of light into geometrical shadow is what? Diffraction. Next one. A slit of size 0.16 cm is placed at 2.1 meter from the screen. On illuminated it by light of wavelength 5 into 10 raised to minus 5 cm. The width of central maxima is. So you have to calculate the width of central maxima. So what is the formula for width of central maxima? Width of central maxima is 2x equal to. The width of the central maxima is 2x equal to 2 lambda capital D divided by small d. Formula for width of central maxima 2x equal to 2 lambda d by d. It is the formula of diffraction. Central width of central maxima 2 into now lambda is how much? It is given as 5 into 10 raised to minus 5 centimeter. Minus 5 centimeter means one more minus 7 meter in terms of meter. Small capital D is what? 2.1. Capital D is what? 2.1 divided by. Now what is the it is 2.1. Small d is how much? 0.15 centimeter width of the slit. It is -2 again. So answer 2 into 5, 10. 10 into 2, 20. 20 by 0.15. If you do the calculation, you will get the answer as 1.4 millimeter is the correct option. So 1.4 millimeter you will get. Okay, option is C. So next question, sixth question. A diffraction is obtained by using a beam of red light. Diffraction obtained using beam of red light. What will happen if the red light is replaced by blue light? Options are: bands will narrow, crowd full together, narrower and crowd full together. Bands become broader and farther apart. No change takes place. Bands disappear. So we know that fringe width is directly, or band width is direct proportional to lambda. Means if from red light if you move to blue, from red if you move to blue, wavelength, what happens to wavelength? Wavelength decreases. If wavelength decreases, beta also decreases. Beta decreases means bands will become narrower, narrow and becomes crowd. So option is A. Sixth one is option is A. We move for seventh question. Seventh question is angular width of central maxima of a diffraction pattern on a single slit doesn't depend on. So the angular width formula is how much? 2 theta. The angular width of central maxima 2 theta is equal to, it is simple, 2 lambda by small d. 2 lambda by small d means, sorry, where I gone? Seventh question, I forgotten seventh question. Let me complete eighth, then I go for seventh. Okay, eighth one is angular width of central maximum of diffraction pattern is doesn't depend on which term. So angular width formula 2 theta equal to 2 lambda by d means angular width depends on lambda small d. It depends on wavelength. It depends upon distance between the width of the slit. B and D are dependent. Even D is also, B and C are dependent. D is also dependent because frequency depends on wavelength. If frequency changes, wavelength also changes. So wavelength changes, frequency changes, angular width also changes. So which is not dependent? Capital D not dependent, means distance between slit and screen is not dependent on 2 theta. So angular width doesn't depend on distance between slit and the distance. So angular width doesn't. So we have gone. Angular width doesn't depend on distance between slit and screen. Option A is correct. I will go for seventh now. What will be the angle of diffracting for the first minima due to Fraunhofer diffraction? Sources of wavelength 550 nanometer. Width of the slit is 0.55 millimeter. So for first minima, very simple. D sin theta equal to n lambda. It is a clear formula for minima. Sin theta equal to what? 1. N is 1. 1 lambda by d. 1. N is 1. First minima. Lambda by d. Lambda means 550 nanometer. 550 means 10 raised to minus 7. Okay, sorry. Minus 7 divided by, it is small d is what? 0.55. If you do the calculation, sin theta is nearly theta. Sin theta is nearly theta. If sin theta is nearly theta, so answer will be 0.001 radian. So option A is correct. 0.001 radian. So option A is correct. If you do the calculation, 550 into 10 to the minus 7 by 0.55 millimeter it is. 0.55 millimeter means into 10 raised to minus 3. Minus 3 or right. Substitute, you will get 0.001 radian. Means option A is correct. So move to next question, ninth question. Already 8th is completed. A single slit of width 0.20 millimeter is illuminated with a light of wavelength 500 nanometer. Slit width is given, wavelength is given. The observed screen is placed 80 centimeter, capital D given. The width of the central bright maxima. Width of central bright fringe. What is the formula for width of central bright fringe? 2x equal to 2 lambda capital D by small d. 2. So if you observe the numbers here, options are in different numbers. Then I will go for only numbers 2 as it is. Lambda is 500 nanometer. Take number only 5. Capital D 80 centimeter. 80 centimeter. Take the number only 8. Divided by small d is 20 nanometer. 0.20 millimeter means 2. So option 2 can cancels. So you will answer, you will get in 40. 40 means you will get in 4. 4 means 4 millimeter is correct. So option is 4 millimeter is correct option. So this is a direct method of calculating the answers. Otherwise you have to substitute the values in detail. 2 lambda is 5000. Capital D 80 centimeter. 80 into 10 is so lambda is 500 nanometer. 500 into 10 to minus 9. 80 centimeter. 80 into 10 to minus 2. Small d 0.2 millimeter. 0.2 into 10 to minus 3. Substitute, you will get answer same 4 millimeter. Okay. Then next question. Yellow light is used in single slit experiment, diffraction experiment. Width of the slit is 0.6 millimeter. If the yellow light is replaced by X-rays, then the pattern will reveal. If yellow light is replaced by X-rays, what happens to the pattern? So the central maxima is narrower, no diffraction, more number of fringes or less number of fringes. So answer is when the yellow light is replaced by X-rays, there will be no diffraction. Why? For X-rays, wavelength is range from 1 to 100 angstrom in it. But slit width is small d is 0.6 millimeter. So if you count wavelength and slit width, they are far away. If you observe wavelength and slit, they are far away. 0.6 millimeter, and this wavelength is very far away. So if they doesn't match, no diffraction is observed. Means 10th one is B. Okay. So after this we go for next topic, polarization. So first question on polarization of light. What is a polarizer is used? For what purpose polarizers are used? Reduce intensity of light, produce polarized light, increase intensity of light, produce unpolarized light. What is the option? Polarizer is used to produce polarized light. Option 2. Next question. Light waves can be polarized as they are. Why the light waves can be polarized? Because they are transverse. Because polarization needs transverse nature. So second one, option A. Through which character we can third question. Through which character we can distinguish the light waves from the sound waves? The light waves can be distinguished from sound waves using what? Interference, refraction, polarization, or reflection. So using polarization we can distinguish light waves and what? Sound waves, because polarization is not shown by sound waves. Only polarization is obtained for light waves. Polarization cannot obtain for sound waves, not obtained. So that's why we can distinguish these two on the basis of polarization. Okay. Next thing, the angle of polarization of any medium is 60 degree. What is the critical angle for that? Angle of polarization it is given as 60 degree by using refractive index equal to tan of IB. Brewster's angle or angle of polarization, both are same. Tan 60 degree. Tan 60 degree means how much? Tan 60 degrees root 3. Now what is the critical angle formula? Critical angle sin C equal to 1 by n. It is 1 by root 3. Critical angle is 1 by root 3. So C equal to what? Answer is sine inverse 1 by root 3, means option is sin inverse 1 by root 3. D is the correct option. Okay, now we go for next question. Next question is the angle of incidence at which reflected light is totally polarized for reflection from air to glass is what? It is called Brewster's angle. The angle at which the reflected light completely polarized, it is Brewster's angle. So it is formula for Brewster's angle is mu equal to, or it is in terms of n, both are same, mu or n equal to tan IB. So tan IB. Now IB is what? IB equal to tan inverse n. Tan inverse n is option D is correct. So fifth one option is D is correct. Okay. Next one. Which of the following cannot be polarized? Which of the following is cannot be polarized? Whether radio waves or ultraviolet rays or infrared rays or ultrasonic waves. Radio waves, ultraviolet rays and infrared rays can be polarized because they are transverse. But ultrasonic waves cannot be polarized because they are longitudinal. Because of longitudinal nature, ultrasonic waves cannot be polarized. So option D is correct. Okay. So we move for next question. Seventh one. A Polaroid is placed at 45 degree to an upcoming light of intensity I naught. Now the intensity of light passes through the Polaroid after polarization will be. So what is the formula for intensity of upcoming light? I equal to, intensity of upcoming light is I naught. Malus law. Malus law says I equal to I naught cos square theta. So I naught as it is cos square theta is how much? 45 degree. What is cos 45? Root 1 by root 2. Cos square means 1 by 2. Cos square 45 degrees 1 by 2 means I naught by 2 is the correct option. So option B is correct. I naught by 2. A plane polarized. Next question, 8th question. A plane polarized light is passed through a Polaroid. On viewing through the Polaroid, we find that when the Polaroid is given one complete rotation about the direction of light, one of the following is observed. If you, for any upcoming light, if the Polaroid is rotated for one complete rotation, what we are getting? The intensity of options, what I will read the options. The intensity of light gradually increases to 0, decreases to 0 and remains at 0. The intensity of light gradually increases to a maximum and remains at as maximum. There is no change in intensity of light. So D, the intensity of light is twice maximum, twice 0. So out of this 8th option, which is correct? D is correct, because when you rotate a Polaroid, the Polaroid from intensity goes from maximum then to minimum 0, then again 0 to maximum increases, again from maximum to 0 decreases. So means 2 maxima, 2 zeros, means D is the correct option. So ninth question, already ninth question. Out of the following statement which is not correct? When unpolarized light passes through nickel prism, produces polarized light. It is not producing any elliptical light. So the question is, you have to find out the wrong one. Wrong one is A. Remaining all 4 options are correct. Nickel prism works on principle of double refraction and interreflection. That is correct. Nickel prism used to produce and analyze polarized light. That is also correct. Calcite and quartz are doubly refracting. That is also correct. So wrong one is A. So our option is A, because you have to select wrong one. So 10th one. A ray of light is incident on the surface of glass plate at an angle of incidence equal to Brewster's angle. Mu represents refractive index of glass with respect to air. Then the relation between reflected and the angle between reflected and refracted rays are 90 degree. So correct option 10th one is C, because during whenever a ray of light incident on medium, the reflected light is completely polarized, refracted light is partially polarized, the angle between them is 90 degree. Okay, so with this, let me stop now. Okay.